Real Madrid heads into the week with a defence that looks fragile and forced, not by design, but by a string of misfortunes that have left Xabi Alonso rearranging pieces he never wanted to move. The sending off at a nota that cost Dean Huijsen a one-match suspension and Rudiger's injury that will keep him sidelined until January have turned what might have been a minor reshuffle into a full-blown selection crisis. An absence here is no longer something to paper over. It is something that will shape the next months. With limited options on the bench and fans already jittery, Alonso has made a clear call. David Alaba and Alaba Militao will start together against Espanyol. It is a decision heavy with meaning. On its face, it is pragmatic. Alaba's composure and left-footed distribution offer a calming voice at the back, while Militao brings the kind of recovery speed and aerial presence that can blunt a direct attack. Yet beneath the logic sits a gamble. Alaba is in what many expect to be a farewell season and carries the burden of expectation to help steady a defence. Militao, returning from 2 significant knee injuries, is still rebuilding his minutes and his match rhythm. The combination places the team's hopes on experience and trust rather than on youthful exuberance, and that tells you everything about the mood in the dressing room and the priorities of the coach. Behind the starters sits a bench that offers promise, names with potential and energy, and a youth prospect like Raul Asensio who has shown personality. But when a fixture reads as a potential season-defining moment, Alonso has chosen to lean on those he believes can steady the ship from many one. This selection forces subtle but meaningful tactical adjustment. The midfield must afford more protection to a backline missing its preferred personnel. Full-backs will have to be disciplined in their overlaps and quicker to shut space, and the defensive line may well sit deeper to limit the explosive counters that exploit any loss of cohesion. Alaba's reading of the game can mask certain frailties, yet Militao will be tested on repeated sprints, contested headers and split-second decisions he hasn't been pushed to make since his return from injury. The Bernabeu adds its own pressure, a home crowd that magnifies mistakes and glorifies grit, a stadium where calm performances are golden and errors are replayed for weeks. For Alaba, the match is an opportunity to write a positive chapter into a season dotted with questions. For Militao, it is both a test of fitness and a vote of confidence from a coach willing to trust him in a tight spot. The wider context matters. Summer fixes and boardroom moves were supposed to patch the holes that have shown up again, yet football refuses to be tidied with declarations. Injuries happen, red cards happen, and the narrative now will be decided not by announcements, but by actions on the pitch. If Alaba and Militao hold firm, Alonso's pragmatic bravery will be framed as sound management. If either falters, pundits and rivals will replay the choice as recklessness, an example of a coach forced into a corner who chose a temporary patch over a structural answer. Behind the scenes, the club's leadership will be watching the results fall out as carefully as they watch training reports. Every outcome feeds into transfer thinking, into questions about depth, and into the assessment of how resilient this squad truly is. In this environment, the match against Espanyol is less a single line in a fixture list and more an early barometer for identity. Do Real Madrid respond to adversity by tightening and leaning on experience, or do cracks widen and force larger changes? The moments to watch are simple and decisive: a timely interception that stops a counter, a composed pass that relieves pressure, a cleared corner that ends a threatening sequence. Because in matches like this, the small details compound into season-defining narratives. As the team assembles and the crowd counts down, the story will be written in those tiny acts of defensive bravery and coordination. When the whistle blows, the answer will be plain. Did Alonso's gamble stitch a fragmented defence back together, or did it expose a deeper problem that will require more than a weekend's courage to fix?